Now at 6, we are following that breaking news out of mid-Missouri, where at least 3 people are dead. Several others are hurt after an Amtrak derailed. We want to thank you for joining us at this hour. I'm Brent Solomon. Mike Bush and Ann Allred have the night off. That train hit a dump truck around 12:30 this afternoon in Minden. Now that's about 84 miles northeast of Kansas City. At least 7 cars and 2 locomotives derailed. The train was traveling from Los Angeles to Chicago. There were 243 passengers on board. 2 people on that train and the dump truck driver have died. One passenger climbed out of a window and describes the scene.
The gentleman driving the cement truck or whatever, his wife came running up to the scene and she wanted to see him. And they said no.
Just yesterday, 3 people were killed after a different Amtrak crashed into a car in California. Tonight, a father is on trial for murder. You may remember the massive search for missing 9-year-old Christian Ferguson, who had special needs. Although authorities never found his body, Sarah Maki explains his father's case is still moving forward. Sarah joins us now with that.
Yeah, a lot of ground covered in today's proceedings, including the basic strategy from both sides of this case. And all of this playing out for a national audience, streaming both online and on some cable TV channels. Now, I want you to take a look at some of the video that we had from earlier today. Prosecutors say that they have witnesses who will testify that DeJuan Ferguson has a history of neglecting his 9-year-old son, Christian, who was nonverbal, had mobility issues, and required a feeding tube. They imply that the boy's condition may have only worsened after funding for in-house nursing support expired about 3 months before his disappearance. The defense says that DeJuan Ferguson was trying to take his son to the hospital when someone stole his car with the child inside. They say Christian had a large medical team required to report abuse and neglect, but they never did because they say DeJuan was a good dad in a challenging medical situation.
Christian Ferguson has never been recovered. But the evidence that you will see this week will show to you that Christian Ferguson was never missing.
The state has a lot of innuendos, rumors, suggestions, and theories, but they don't actually have evidence of murder.
We heard from several members of the medical community and medical team today. One nurse testifying she would often come to the home and find Christian in dirty clothes and double-wrapped diapers, so much urine that it had run into his shoes. The defense used testimony of another nurse who said she didn't see those same issues, but she did talk to a doctor who said Christian was months overdue for his examination. Now, still to come are some witnesses, including Christian's younger sister, who was in the home last time that anybody saw him. We also are expecting to hear from investigators who have been working this case. Now, parties are due back in court at 8:45 tomorrow morning, but something that was not mentioned at all here is DeJuan Ferguson's other case. He is now accused of sexually assaulting 2 minors, and he is set for trial on that in August. Reporting tonight, Sarah Maki, 5 on your side.
All right, Sarah, thanks. This case dates back nearly 2 decades. On the morning of June 11th, 2003, DeJuan Ferguson called 911 saying his SUV was stolen with Christian inside. Police found that SUV a few hours later, but no sign of the 9-year-old. Then in 2006, Christian's mother, Theda Person, created the nonprofit Looking for an Angel to help families of other missing children. DeJuan was charged with first-degree murder in 2019. Again, Christian's body still hasn't been found. Now, Sarah Maki and Christine Byers are covering this trial from beginning to end. Look for their live updates on KSDK.com, Twitter, and the 5 on Your Side app. We have an update now on that deadly crash in Florissant. Police say an SUV slammed into a tree overnight in front of a home, killing 3 people. Now, it happened just before 2 this morning. 5 on Your Side's Laura Bercheski is speaking with people who live there. She's live now in that neighborhood with the very latest. Laura.
Yeah, Brent, neighbors tell me crashes happen all the time here on New Florissant Road. This time they ended up in this tree right over here in front of this yard. Now, a lot of times they say they more happen in front of the public library, but, you know, it kind of just depends. That's just down the road. Florissant police say they're not sure yet what caused the driver to crash into the tree, but when they arrived, there were 4 people in the SUV. 3 died on the scene and 1 was rushed to the hospital. Investigators believe the car immediately caught fire when it hit the tree. A neighbor about 3 doors down says the crash startled him out of bed.
I got about halfway down the driveway and the car just exploded, and it just exploded. And I heard a guy, you know, he was saying, I think there's someone in the car. I think there's someone in the car.
Florissant police have not released the names of the victims yet, and we'll bring you the latest information as soon as we get it. Reporting live from Florissant, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Laura. The Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade is causing some religious leaders to rejoice, while others are rejecting the outcome. In a news conference today in St. Louis, several faith leaders denounced that ruling. 5 on your side, Justina Cornell was at City Hall. She joins us now in studio with their message. Justina, good evening.
Good evening, Brent. So today, this message came through. Not all clergy members believe in the same thing. And while the Archdiocese of St. Louis says every human being born and unborn has the right to be protected, other leaders say this recent ruling is contrary to what they believe.
I am a religious leader, I am a Christian, and I had an abortion.
Reverend Dr. Dietra Weisbaker preaches here Monday morning. Usually the power of her words are felt at the Eden Theological Seminary. However, she brings a message to St. Louis City Hall after the pivotal overturn of Roe v. Wade.
I'm here today representing over 100 area faith leaders of the St. Louis Interfaith Coalition for Reproductive Rights. We find this decision to be offensive and punitive to the religious freedom we all value and practice.
The assistant professor shares not all clergy stand with the same beliefs.
The grounds for this decision are based within the context of a narrow religious understanding of the role of women in society and their personal agency over their own lives. Codifying this one religious perspective amounts to religious tyranny.
The Archdiocese of St. Louis has issued a statement saying every human being born or unborn has the right to be protected. Dr. Baker says their faith is about safety too.
Our faith insists that a pregnant person's life is to be respected and protected against harm that might be caused to her by an unhealthy or untimely pregnancy.
As for Rabbi Susan Talvey with Central Reform Congregation, she says this Supreme Court decision goes against her faith.
My fight for choice is grounded in both Jewish law and in Jewish tradition's understanding of our profound commitment to protect the rights of the most at risk. Abortion access, then, is also a matter of religious freedom. Jews are not only permitted to terminate a pregnancy, but when our lives are at stake, we may be obligated by Jewish law to do so.
Now, in this statement by the Archdiocese, it also shares, quote, "We will continue providing resources for women facing unexpected and difficult pregnancies so that they may both develop their full potential in this world and be happy with God forever and the next." Brent.
All right, Justina, thanks for that work. New at 6, workers at a St. Louis County grocery store walked outside to find their cars had been broken into. It happened over the weekend at the Schnucks in Brentwood. Let's get right over to 5 on your side's newest team member, Mercedes McKay. Mercedes, what are you learning?
Brent, we obviously know that this has been a problem in downtown St. Louis for a while now. Now, there have been more than 2,000 reports of car break-ins in downtown just this past year. But it's not just an issue in the city of St. Louis. Brentwood police are now investigating their own series of break-ins. A Schnucks employee told me over the phone this happened to several of their overnight workers. The union that represents thousands of grocery store employees in St. Louis also added that they've had many conversations with Schnucks about safety. Now, I spoke with a woman who has been a victim herself of a car theft in St. Louis. She lives in the city, but goes to this parking lot in Brentwood to shop all the time.
It makes me feel a little nervous. You get to one point to where you think that you're okay when you come to the suburbs, and then the same things start happening in the suburbs. So you're like, where do I go now?
Now, we did receive a statement from Schnucks that said they're currently working with law enforcement agencies just like the other businesses in that lot. I also reached out to Brentwood Police to find out how many break-ins happen at the lot, but haven't heard anything back just yet.
All right, Mercedes McKay, our newest team member. We're glad to have you on the team.
Glad to be here too.
All right. Well, coming up, gas prices have been something we're talking about for weeks now. Well, this week prices are looking a little better. Plus, Fair St. Louis, it's back in town this week. We'll have a look at who's taking the stage.
And if you're taking the stage this weekend, heading outdoors, may have to use that umbrella from time to time. I'll show you why it's not a washout, but that threat for storms is definitely there.
Well, it is a story we've been talking about for weeks now, gas prices. And it looks like prices at the pump are down a bit. In St. Louis, gas is about 5 cents cheaper than last week. According to Gas Buddy, it's sitting at an average of $4.85 a gallon. Statewide, Missouri and Illinois saw dips in prices too. Missouri gas is down 7.4 cents a gallon from last week. Illinois gas is down 12.9 cents a gallon. And if you're looking for the cheapest gas in our area, just text the word gas to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link to the cheapest gas stations straight to your phone. Well, Fair St. Louis is back this week for the first time in 2 years. It runs Saturday through Monday. Events will take place all weekend at Keener Plaza at Ballpark Village. Look for local food vendors and lots of live music like Ex-Ambassadors, Rodney Atkins, and Third Eye Blind. There will be one fireworks show on July 4th. Organizers promise it will be the biggest and best yet. Firefighters would like you to leave the fireworks to the pros this year. Coming up, just how quickly firecrackers and sparklers can turn dangerous. Now to an urgent plea from safety leaders in the city of St. Louis. They're doing more than just asking people to not set off fireworks. They're begging them not to. 5 on your side's Tracy Henson is here with their warning.
Alrighty, so Captain Mosby with the St. Louis Fire Department shared these temperatures with us. 212 is the temperature water boils at. 350, the temperature to bake a cake. How about the temperature to get glass to melt? About 900 degrees. And the temperature sparklers typically burn at about 1200 degrees. He said no firework is a safe firework.
There is no safe way to discharge consumer fireworks. They're very dangerous. Severe injuries occur, emergency room visits, occupied building fires, vacant building fires, and of course, St. Louis, we've become accustomed to the dumpster fires.
If he sounds frustrated to you, he and the rest of his department probably are.
It drives up our call value. We're a busy department. We average 200 to 250 responses per day. Over the July 4th holiday, 2020, on July 4th, we ran 572 responses.
They beef up their staffing ahead of the holiday, but hope word gets out this year to skip at-home fireworks for professional displays.
Last year, the word's getting out and people are responding, so we're thankful for that. We only had 499 responses.
Firefighters aren't the only ones asking people to forego illegal fireworks. Veterans want people to be mindful.
Please think before you set off that M80, your neighbor, maybe a 70-year-old veteran, a Vietnam War veteran. To him, those booms of those fireworks could bring him right back to the Vietnam War. And the sounds of bottle rockets could easily bring flashbacks to a veteran of the Iraq War.
Now, we've made it easy for you to find an amazing fireworks show near you. Text fireworks to 314-425-5355 for a list of professional shows in and around St. Louis. And we've also highlighted this story in the As Seen on TV section of our website.
All right, Tracy, thanks. Let's go ahead and turn it over to the hardest working man in weather. You just saw him at Busch Stadium. Now he's back here, and then he's going back to Busch, right,
I'm going
Scott?
back over there. You know, I'm getting my workout in today, that's
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
are.
Running back and forth. What a great evening it is tonight. Temperatures are in the upper 70s now. You have a few high thin clouds starting to show up here out to the west of St. Louis, and some of those creeping in now, starting to move into the metro area. This is a look up in Florissant, where your temperature is currently 81 degrees. That 81 and those upper 70s, well, they come with very low humidity. We've had abundant sunshine all day long. The thing that changes tonight, we do have some of this high and mid-level cloud cover coming at us from the west, but it fizzles, it moves on to the east into this drier air. Our dew points have been down into the 40s. And listen, for this time of year, to get dew points in the mid-40s in late June, it's a fairly rare event. It doesn't happen all that often. It does happen, but these are among the coolest that you will see for the most part. Temperatures tonight should drop off pretty quickly, even with the clouds starting to roll in. We will slide back into the 60s through this evening. Now, with it being warm, with the humidity levels staying fairly low and the fact that there's not a lot of wind, we'll keep the mosquito forecast in the high category. As we head towards the middle and end of the week, it starts to bump up again because temperatures will bump up as well. There's no chance for rain for us for tomorrow. In fact, the clouds we see should be thinning out as we head through the early morning hours. As we head into Friday, into Saturday, into Sunday, I know it's a 4th of July weekend, we will have a front that just comes sauntering into that heat and humidity and then kind of meanders across the region, gets stuck. And that means there's at least a decent chance Friday night into Saturday that many of us will see a shower or a thunderstorm. That chance is lingering into Sunday, but it starts to decrease a little bit. And hopefully Monday is mostly dry, but there will be a lot of fireworks displays that are happening Sunday night or even Saturday night because the 4th is on Monday. And so, you know, kind of fitting into the weekend schedule. So we'll see what we can do. Temperatures in the low 80s right now. And that was where our high was after lows this morning. Dropped into the 50s to around 60 degrees. We were 61 in town. We are bright and warm tomorrow, up to 85. But again, without the humidity, so that makes a huge difference. More sunshine on the way Wednesday, more on Thursday. There's your warming trend, mid-90s Thursday and Friday. It's Friday night into the weekend when the shower and storm chances ramp back up.
Well, a pretty pleasant day today. Might as well get out and enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, certainly.
All right. Thank you for that. Well, we have a Cardinal baseball player who's living out his dream. Frank Cusimano is next with the big story.